7 points. There's David Neitz. What a record he has got for Melbourne. 6 years as captain, 6-time goal kicker. There's an All-Australian last year. Matthew Lappin had 28 disposals last week.
Nathan Brown getting up. Clint Bizzle, number 3. And Clint Bizzle has become a very important player in this Melbourne lineup because he's so versatile. He can play key defence or take a turn in the middle, even go forward. And Brendan Favola heading towards the goal square with Lance Whitnell alongside him.
Got a little ribbon in his hair, is it?
Just a little one, Tim.
I saw the samurai look last night with Shannon Grant, so anything goes these days.
Callum Chambers, number 22, new player for Carlton. And as we mentioned, 7 years with West Coast. Comes from Victoria, down Gippsland Way.
So Jeff White explained he had a few timing problems last week, just getting these centre bounce right. Let's see how much work he's put into it this week as we start this Wizard Cup quarter-final. It's going to be Barnaby French up against White. French got the first tap, snared those straight away by McDonald for Melbourne. Puts them inside 50. Not a bad sort of kick, right down the throat of Brad Green. And he is well within range in the opening 10 seconds of the match.
Well, he's a beautiful kick. Either on the run or a set shot is Brad Green, the left footer, formerly from Tasmania. And gee, just have a look at him, how he's developed. That's a very quick clearance, of course. He's almost big enough to play as a centre-half forward.
23 disposals last week for Green. Had an excellent match against the Lions. In he comes. Oh, well, believe it or not, it didn't even make the distance. It sneaked home for a point in the end. First score to Melbourne, and the Blues waste little time.
And Barnaby French has got it, and he gives it to last year's best and fairest, the former Kangaroo, in David Teague. That's a pretty good placement too. White interfering with Prendergast. Now it'll be play on. Chambers from outside 50, and the Blues start with a big boomer. Must have been on the line. A 6-pointer.
They'll take it.
Just good to see 2 new players for the Blues featuring that. David Teague off half-back. And good contest by Prendergast allows Betts to crumb the ball, handball it across the Chambers.
The back foot was outside the 50-metre line.
And that's why we're hearing the boos as we saw the replay, and the Carlton fans aren't happy. They reckon they've been cheated of 3 points.
No video replay this year. So down it goes in the middle again. Heffernan finds some space, kicks out in the direction of Robertson. Back to McDonald, his second touch. Attacking it is Cam Bruce from behind, couldn't get there. Spawns thrown out of the way like a rag doll by Neitz. It's 55 out from the Demons' goal.
And let's just have a look at this. Was it outside the 50-metre arc? Yes, it was.
No question. And, well, I don't like video intervention in sports contests unless we really need it. For that particular decision, it probably is worth consideration. Now, here's Brown, and that's a good delivery. Just curled a little. Thornton. And Carlton do it well. Stevens, the acting skipper, for Whitnell. Paul Wheatley's lined up on him with Bell on Favola. Scotland is after Favola here. In fact, Favola was on the lead and had run beyond it. Bell working it to White, now McDonald, all done under extreme pressure. McLean in shifting ground there, and the Blues have got it back. Prendergast untidy kick, but a good result, and from there Favola might be a chance to do what Callum Chambers was denied.
And the tackle by Jared Waite was just exceptional. Caused the turnover, and a quick kick back into the Carlton forward line, and Brendan Favola lining up.
You'd have your money on him to kick that distance.
Distance shouldn't worry him.
To give the Blues a flying start. A 6-pointer on the board. Favola for 9. Scores 1.
So So 7 plays 1. Another stat for McDonald. It's been prominent early. Gives and then receives once again. Ordinary kick to the wing. Wait. Cooter-like with the one hand. Scoops it up. Gives it to Walker. Puts the Blues back inside 50. And we'll have a throw in. Geez, McDonald has had 7 disposals already, Robert Walls.
Yeah, he's running hot, isn't he?
50 out. White from behind. Prendergast all wrapped up. Stalemate. Oh, he's been... Gee, that is tough. Did he deem he took it?
Well, he didn't. He took it off a bounce off the ground, didn't he?
Yeah. Out of the ruck. He had no hope at all getting rid of that. What's going on out there?
That's the way it is these days. Here's Nathan Brown. Slightly ragged kick. It just about carried Whitnell for Neitz. But Wiggins mops up for the Blues. Sloppy hand pass.
Gee, Whitnell covered a lot of ground to get back there to make it hard for Neitz. And that's good play by Lance Whitnell. He's playing as a forward, but was prepared to really stretch himself to get back there and help out.
Oh, that
is just
ridiculous.
I think the umpire thought Prendergast was the ruckman, and he wasn't, because it was Barnaby French.
That's why I was a bit confused, but definitely we didn't contest the ruck, Joe.
It speaks of a mentality, though, which is wrong and distorted.
Houlihan showing plenty of dash across half-back. He has 3 bounces. A heavy shepherd off the ball is legal, says the umpire. Turnover. Maloney with strength, but the whistle... There's the ball coming back, and it's going Carlton's way. Play on. Kick to the wings, poor. Brown couldn't take the mark, but it kept his feet, more importantly. Handball's back to Ferguson. Now Maloney. Kick inside 50's good, finds Neitz. And David Neitz is going to be kicking from about 48 metres out. Pretty tight angle, but it is gettable.
And the big skipper, of course, has been set at that full forward position for the last few years, and I think that's where he'll play his career out. Days are gone where they'll play him at centre half back.
Good looking kick from Neitz, but it's offline. 7 plays 2, Blues in front.
We came expecting a contest. We've got it early. This could be a cracker. The winner meets the Western Bulldogs in a semi-final. Teague making position for Stevens' kick. A couple of smart blondes, those two. And that was just about good enough. Not paid. Bruce working it inboard for White. He was indecisive. Got it off to Maloney, but he's under pressure. McDonald for another one. A throw, I'm assuming, and it's Carlton's ball.
He was desperate to keep the ball alive, Maloney. Umpire deemed that he scooped it up.
Wait. Blues work it in quickly. Whitnell has 2 against him. Lappin forward to the centre for little Eddie Betts. A soda from there. The Blues have their second. That's what he's there for.
And 2 Demon defenders contested against Whitnell. Extra numbers at ground level for Carlton. And little Eddie Betts, see 2 Demon defenders up there. They're very Lance Whitnell conscious. And that just shows how important Lance Whitnell in form is to this team.
A goal to Eddie.
And Paul Wheatley playing at centre half back on Whitnell. And Ferguson playing at full back on Favola.
13 plays 2. Little quick kick out of danger by Thornton. It was clever in the end. Finds Scotland. Goes back into the middle looking for French. Bizzle late on the sea but did well to spoil. Right in the middle of Telstra Dome. Blues have the numbers. Stevens, can he get a kind bounce? He does. Little left foot kick to half forward. Blues go deep into attack through Chambers into the goal square. Whitnell!
2 good signs for Carlton. Chambers featuring, Eddie Betts featuring, and Whitnell, who 5 years ago was one of the best 10 players in the competition in my book, and in the last 2 years hasn't been in the best 200.
Fantastic start by the Blues. They've kicked all 3 goals in this match, and here's the build-up again. Chambers, quick kick, long and direct to the tip of the goal square, and Whitnell with strength.
And you can just see the push on Paul Wheatley. Push Wheatley out into the path of the ball, takes the mark on the chest, puts the ball through for their 3rd goal.
The Blues 3 goals to none. Melbourne have won all 3 centre clearances so far. The rest of the time, the tide has been the other way. At centre circle is exaggerating centre bounces that are anything but vertical. Brock McLean for the Demons. Davey beaten by the bounce. Carazzo for the Blues. Davey outpaces him. Brilliantly done. Superb effort. Robertson. Never online. The Demons have their 3rd behind.
Jeez, that was quick of Aaron Davey.
Houlihan, beautiful kick to the outer side. Finds Chambers to the wing. That's a strong mark in front taken by Green. He plays on, bangs it long and high back inside 50. Wrestles on. Again, Carlton have numbers of the ball. Thornton to Houlihan. Nice spot up at half, back to Prendergast. He's got 2 players on in the middle. One of them Spawn. He can go. Now Spawn takes the mark and plays on. Weighs up the options. Goes the long one, looking for Waite. He's got the city. Stays down in the end. Front of the pack is Scotland. Handballs in the direction of Betts. But Melbourne out of trouble through Wheel and Just. And it's a good kick to half back and finds White.
Drop the sitter after making good ground to get there, and it's a tough contest. Favola working it out, Waite spraying, and James McDonald has it for the 8th time in the first half of this opening quarter.
Daniel Bell has been moved on to Favola.
Goes for White. Oh, rammed into the back of Brendan Favola. And working up the ground, it's Favola's ball.
Yeah, Barnaby French playing permanent forward, which means Prendergast can ruck.
Whitnell has it again off a perfectly weighted kick, which just carried the fingertips of the defender in front and landed like an autumn leaf on Whitnell's chest.
What's been impressive, Tim, is the work rate of Brendan Favola. You know, sure, his job is to kick goals, but Dennis Pagan would be thrilled to see the tackle, the smother, the desperation that he's showing at ground level. And, gee, that's the sort of thing that you want your full forwards to do. And Favola's prepared to get outside the forward 50 to do the chasing and the pressuring.
Big Red is hot. Not this time. The Blues lead by 17 points.
1-1 to Whitnell. As Bizzle does the kicking in, and goes the short option to Uze. To McDonald once again, touch number 9. She almost needs sunnies out there at the moment. It's that bright. Half the ground in shadows. The outer side in blazing sunshine as the Demons are away. This is Bell to half forward. Looks for Robertson. Couldn't hang on to it. Nice pick up there by Thornton. To the true centre half back position. The kick is perfect. It finds Waite, who drills it long. Favola's got a chance here. Just nudges the backside into the opponent. Takes the mark. Plays on. Tackled as he kicks. Marked by Ferguson, the last line of defence.
Uze in space. Started quietly. Couple of possessions in the last minute. Jamar somehow letting that slip through his fingers. Miller taken under the ball by Thornton, pushed under it, in the opinion of umpire Simon Meredith. 2 actions is what they look for. Now here's McLean, and he is inside the 50.
Bizzle has been moved on to Whitnell, and they are shuffling their defenders around. There's no doubt that is the weak link of this Melbourne team at the moment, particularly with Rivers and Nicholson not playing. And if Whitnell and Favola can hit some form, it will certainly worry Neil Danaher. Already it is.
McLean missing on the near side, so a fourth behind to the Demons. Brock McLean played a few games last year, having been a high draft pick in 2003, and big things expected of him in his second senior season.
Yep, taken pick 5 back in 2003. As from the kick in, the marks taken by Carazzo. He's got Teague on short. And he in turn pops it over the top to the hard-running Houlihan. To Favola. Precision play by the Blues at the moment.
You mentioned the hard-running Houlihan. It was Houlihan who kicked in at full-back. That's ambitious.
Square up to centre half forward. Miller couldn't take the diving mark. Bruce under pressure. Good use of the body there by Stevens. He's got rid of his opponent. Now on the right, inside 50, but it's all Melbourne. Bruce fills the hole there and takes the mark deep in defence.
And Neil Danaher has sent a few players back to fill the hole, because Carlton just starting to get away with their quick 3 goals. And they're just playing a little bit of possession football.
Bizzle to Brown. Robertson.
Be a good contest this one, Tim. Robertson and Teague.
A couple of best and fairest for their clubs in the last 2 seasons, and that's a good delivery to Brad Green.
Absolutely brilliant pass.
Now, Green missed in the opening minute of the match from about this range, and it's range that normally he can cope with comfortably. Quite a wonderful last quarter in that qualifying final when Melbourne upset Carlton back in 2000. That is a magnificent kick. Rapier-like for the Demons first.
And there's the Robertson mark in the centre square. A bullet-like kick which sets Green up. But what we didn't see was Big Paul Johnson, the new recruit for the Demons from West Coast Eagles, putting on a block. And that block enabled Green to get the 8 metres of space that he needed.
So a little steadier there for the D's. Back to 10 points the margin. Jamar in the ruck against Bryan for the Blues. McLean pops one over the top to Godfrey. To Brown. Running back with the flight of the ball with a lot of courage was Wiggins. Did it well. Avoided any clash. And is quick to get rid of the football. To Lappin. Into the middle. And it's marked by Spawn. Carazzo's the runner. Receives and kicks to 50. Looks for Whitnell. Fisted away there by Wheatley. Stevens chips it over the top. Beautiful kick to Whitnell. Play on, says the umpire. Betts. Whitnell. Tackle. Turnover. Godfrey gets it to Bruce. Now Ferguson in traffic. Unloads to handball. Will it come off? Well done by Brown, who attacked the football hard. Good stuff as he knocks it on towards Robertson. It's a hot footy at the moment. Robertson back to Whelan. Whelan under pressure. Somehow fed it out to Green. And Green goes long for home. White's outnumbered. No mark.
Johnson
it's a free kick for a hole.
He was held. He was held. The big fella, Paul Johnson, played 1 senior game for West Coast Eagles, originally from Victoria. And high hopes are held for him, and you can just see the grappling from behind. And the umpires are very quick to ping that in the Wizard Cup games.
So Paul Johnson from point blank range slots it home.
And Johnson is playing on Carl Norman. And it will not suit Norman playing on that last line of defence against someone who's so much bigger than him.
What do you think of the free kick, Robert?
Look, it wouldn't have been paid 2-3 years ago.
Gee, I reckon that was 6 to 1, half a dozen to the other.
Today, there's every chance that it will be.
Blues have dominated most of this opening quarter, but suddenly Melbourne are within a kick. The first one was a heart starter. The second really has them going. They're dominating the centre breaks. Nick Stevens might interrupt that. No, he won't. Yes, he will. Well done. Great stuff. And here's Favola. Didn't quite hang on. It's a desperate contest. This is like a battle for 4 points. Wait, Walker. Good pressure from Bell, held things up. Carlton prevail. Wait, from a long way. Mongrel kick. How will it bounce? Cameron Bruce had his hands full. Nearly lost his jumper, but eventually comes away with the goods.
Long passes on here, and Bruce does it magnificently and finds Uze on centre wing. That was a superb pass.
Nick Stevens has had 9 disposals in this first quarter.
McDonald 9 for Melbourne. Uze's got the ball. The lead's provided by Miller. Gets there on the first bounce, but Thornton picks him off.
Robert
Sends it
Whitnell
safely over the boundary line. Christie.
Robert Whitnell has moved down to the back line, you would have noticed down there. What would they be doing there?
Well, I think he's got licence to do that, Christie. That's the second time we've seen him deep in the defensive 50, and he obviously has, well, the permission, if you like, to just head down there to help out when it looks as if the Blues are under siege.
Great effort. McLean from a long way, receiving the hand pass from Rigoni. But another wasted thrust from Melbourne. They've been inaccurate. The margin back to 3 points. The Demons right in the game now.
And Wheatley going with Whitnell all the way.
No mark. Well done by McLean. Gets the handball to Neitz. It's a hot football again. He's tackled by Houlihan. McLean can't take clear possession. Now Scotland. Bumped by Robertson, but did well to get the handball off to Lappin. The Blues out of trouble. Lappin back to the wing. Slightly over the head of Bannister. Now Bruce. Breaks one tackle. Puts it back inside 50. Robertson from behind. Went for the big fly. Couldn't take the mark. Well done by Wiggins.
Yeah, I've got numbers back there, Carlton. It's a real flood.
Lappin to Scotland. Favola. Mark on the wing.
Good to see Favola playing away from the goal square. Just develops him as a footballer.
Bannister in the white boots. Wedging it for Whitnell. This is a different footballer from the one who we've seen struggle over the last couple of years.
Well, he's just run the length of the field to take that mark. I'm not sure if he would have done that last year.
Well, I don't think he could have, Christie. I think he would have run out of gas. But he's certainly covering the ground here, and Paul Wheatley is struggling to stand up in that key defensive role.
In the last 100 seconds of the opening term, this for a 9-point lead. A lead of 1 super goal to the Blues. And Whitnell gives it to them. He sparkled again in this opening quarter. 5 very good quarters of football from Whitnell so far in this Wizard Cup.
Well,
everyone's excited about it, aren't they?
oh, look, I think it's terrific. It's terrific for Lance. It's terrific for Carlton.
And good for football.
You go back a few months ago, Carlton couldn't get a first-round draft pick for Lance Whitnell, and they would have traded him had they been able to get that. I bet they'd get a first-round draft pick for Lance Whitnell now.
And some. Jamar got first hand to it ineffectively. Godfrey. Miller can't take the mark. A lot of pressure again from Thornton. Handball's fed out to McLean. Head over the football. Gets it to Uze. Teague, as you'd expect, went hard at it. Might have hurt himself. Wait. Good handball under pressure to Stevens. Squeezes the kick out wide to Walker. He'll wait for it to bounce. To the wing. Bruce will get there first. So bad turnover there from Andrew Walker.
Simon Godfrey's been moved on to Nick Stevens.
To Brown. To Bizzle. Miller again, well scored by Thornton. Stevens. Whitnell at half-back. Big Red's doing it all at the moment, and a good kick turn away. Here's a chance now for Carlton. Quick transition. Favola! Beautiful play by the Blues. Started in defence and started from a great 1%er from Thornton. And down the other end, Brendan Favola is well within scoring range.
And Don't they look dangerous, Whittle and Favola? But they're getting the ball quickly into that forward 50 and putting the ball out to players on a lead. That's a little bit of a change to the Carlton game plan, Tim. I think in the last couple of years under Dennis Pagan, they tended to bomb the ball to the centre-half forward, full forward positions. What we're seeing in this first quarter, they're prepared to put it out a little bit wider and use the shorter kick.
Is it too early to class Whitmore as a hard-running, all-court player?
Yes.
Favola on the siren. Has put it right through the middle. Blues lead Robert Walls by 15 points at quarter time.
And they deserve their lead, and that man in pitch has been a big part of the reason why, and so too Brendan Favola. Thornton at centre-half back has been good for them. Nick Stevens acting captain, dominating in the midfield, close to 10 possessions in that first term. And you can see there, plenty of congratulations. They're up and running, and Dennis Pagan, he will be very happy as he goes down there for this quarter-time address.
Enjoy the big hits and great goals.
Oh, good play, Cracker. Over to his brother, Jimmy.
As we unlock the Fox Footy Vault. Tuesdays on Fox Footy Channel.
From the Fox Footy Vault returns March 22.
Bunnings Warehouse has everything for your home improvement project, whether big or small. Razorback lantern, just $8.50. Aluminium work platform, only $59. Ryobi Impact hammer drill, a low $129. 24-hour timer twin pack, just $9.98. 475-gram gap filler, only $2.98. And everyone loves our handy gift cards.
Bunnings Warehouse.
Lowest prices are just the beginning.
You can never be too careful. That's why I bring my car here. I know nothing about tyres. These guys have all the answers. What's going on here?
A wheel alignment. The tyres last a lot longer when they line up.
A line-up? I know all about them. Keep your tyres on the straight and narrow. Call into Bow Repairs today.
Bow Repairs.
Don't stop, drop, take it from the top. This is getting serious, this has got to stop.
You've got no music in your soul, sister.
Clap your hands and stomp your feet. Clap, stomp them.
Movie One has the hottest movies, non-stop at your place.
I just want to go home, okay?
Oh, I really think I do.
I think we should go. Like, now.
So that's it then?
No, it's confirmed.
Inescapably.
I see things differently now.
It's incredible. Incredible.
This March on Discovery Channel. Got to know about one fateful day 1 year ago. 200 killed, more than 1,800 injured. Massacre in Madrid. An ancient sport faces a big challenge. Does it need to go international to survive? Sumo, East and West. The Great Pyramid of Giza, believed by its ancient builders to be a portal to eternity. Building the Great Pyramid. Who were the first 3 Christians? And how did the last great pharaoh die? Unraveling the truth on Mummy Detectives. A now famous father and son make more motorcycle madness in all new episodes of the worldwide hit series, American Chopper. March on Discovery Channel. All new in 2005.
It's massive. It's very, very serious.
The Fox Footy Feature.
A dedicated time slot every week.
Starting March 23, we deliver you exclusive interviews, documentaries and current affairs every Wednesday at 9 p.m.
Probably one of the toughest things I've done.
It's the big names and the big issues.
The Fox Footy Feature.
It's a bit of an eye-opener for some of the players.
Taking you beyond the boundary. Exclusive to Fox Footy Channel. The 2005 Wizard Cup is proudly brought to you by ANZ. Play your cards right. Bow Repairs. All you need to know about tyres. Jetstar. All day, every day, low fares. And Engine, the broadband phone company.
And Barnaby French has got it. And he gives it to last year's best and fairest, the former Kangaroo, in David Teague. That's a pretty good placement too. White interfering with Prendergast. Now it'll be play on. Chambers from outside 50, and
The Blues lead by 15, but it should be 18 points. Callum Chambers robbed of 3 points there, kicked a super goal, but it was only awarded a 6-pointer. 32 plays 17. There's been some big individual efforts in that first quarter. Whitnell starred. Stevens had 11 disposals for the Blues. He's acting captain tonight. McDonald 9 and McLean 8 for Melbourne. How'd you see it, Rob?
Oh, I just thought it was exciting the way Carlton moved the ball as quickly as they did, and the two key forwards. Favola had 7 disposals. Interestingly, 6 of the 7 he got them outside of the forward 50, so he's really covering a lot of ground, getting away from goals more so than he has in the past. And of course, Lance Whitnell able to kick 2 goals, take 4 marks. He's on cue for the 15 marks a game as he took last week.
All right, Blues fans and Demons fans, do your bit to get your season up and running, your team's season up and running. Buy a membership ticket as the lifeblood of every club. There's the numbers on your screen. To Carlton and Melbourne members, it's the most important thing you can do is buy a membership ticket. All the money, every cent goes to your club. There's the details on screen.
And the last 6 digits in Carlton's phone number won't be unfamiliar to fans. 72 it was a good year, Robert Wall. 79 and 81.
Yes, all premiership years.
So Carlton go into the second quarter with a 15-point lead. Maloney, the former Cat, sort of blind turned his way into trouble there, but Melbourne come out with the footy. Robertson, it's a rainmaker on this glorious Melbourne evening. Neitz did all the strength work on Livingston, then dropped the mark. Still alive, Maloney again. Couldn't blind turn his way out of trouble that time, but he gets a free.
Caught over the shoulder, and another quick centre clearance to the Demons. That's an area in which they're winning in this game. 7-1 in favour of Melbourne. And the umpires let those contests continue much longer than they did in the past, and players just have to be careful that they don't infringe.
Should nail this to give the Demons the right sort of start. And they're back to within 9 points. Brent Maloney, a victim of Geelong's midfield depth, finds his way to Melbourne. And not a bad place to be at, I reckon he'll find this year.
I think he's got over the initial disappointment, Tim, and looking forward to playing finals this year for Melbourne. And there's Cameron Bruce in at the centre bounce, and Jordan Bannister, probably Carlton's best tagger. He's been given the job to close Cameron Bruce down.
It's the Blues by 1 super goal. McDonald. Good hard tackle by Waite. Bruce couldn't get boot to ball. Still in dispute.
Should I let it go?
Out by McDonald, I think it was in the end. Waite has a fresh area. McDonald loses it again. Quick handball by Davies. Now the Blues find some space. Out wide. This is Spawn. Good pass for Favola on a strong lead. And the kick by Spawn was a beauty. And Brendan Favola will line up about 46, 47 metres out from goal.
Number 6 mark to Brendan Favola. And he is looking fantastic at the moment. And a clever centred kick to Favola on the burst.
So Brendan Favola has got one. Decides to go short. And it's come off, has it? No. Play on, says the umpire. Davies couldn't hang on to it, and Melbourne out of jail. Was it the right decision? No, says Robert Walls as White clears to the wing. No mark to Miller. Now Davey. Can he use his pace here? He can. Can he control it? Davey's got it. He has one bounce. Can he have a shot at goal? Davey goes for home. It's across the face, and that would have been one of the goals of the season, no doubt, if he was able to nail that. I know we're only a couple of weeks in, but that was scintillating play.
It was. You took the word out of my mouth. It was scintillating. Have a look. He backs himself at top pace to run and bounce and burn off his opponent. Well done, Aaron Davey.
He looks like Kathy Freeman, and he runs just about as fast. Still a chance for the Demons. Uze will be on his wrong side. Gives Davey another chance. And the Davey train, Anthony Hudson's Davey train is still rolling. Houlihan under pressure. Danger. Miller hasn't had much of it. Turned it over. Houlihan again. Now Bannister. And Lappin. And Carlton finally are able to settle themselves down. Oh, Houlihan stepped over the mark, but Lappin was there for him. What a fine player he is now. Whitnell to Chambers, and the Blues are on the rebound. Favola running under it, and Wheatley at the back, able to take it for Melbourne.
So, Robert, as a coach, would you send a message out to Favola with that kick?
I would, because Spawn set him up 48 metres out. You know he can kick at 60. Straight in front of goal. He should have had a shot.
It's his job.
It's his job. It's his responsibility to put it through.
Demons go inside 50. Teague. Should be a free kick. It is in the back against Davey. Advantage played. Carazzo. Good pass to Waite.
Gee, handy Carlton forward line. You've got the two keys who we've talked about, but Jared Waite's tall and athletic, can take a mark.
Kick let him down, but fortunately the Blues get it back. Spawn spirals one inside 50. Whitnell from the side. Favola's there. Ferguson for Melbourne leads the race. Loses his feet, but he's got Bellin support. Good tackle for Favola. Brown gets shoved in the back by Chambers. Umpire says throw it in.
Did well there, the Demons. There must have been a great temptation for both Bell and Ferguson to go for the boundary line.
Yes, I agree, Tim. And the new rule, I think, is good because it just keeps the ball in play.
Whitnell and Bruce in ruck. Betts. Bannister. How will it bounce? Not quite. Carlton by 10 points. Jordan Bannister was 10th in their best and fairest last year. It's not a high finish, but it's a significant one for one of their band of second-hand players. He did very well.
He did. He's become a very handy player, and he gets responsible jobs. And coaches love to have players who are disciplined and determined to do those sort of jobs. Bannister playing on Cameron Bruce now.
And only 22, Rob, so, you know, potentially he's got 8-10 years of footy ahead of him.
He has, and super fit, works really hard. They really rate him down there.
Miller just can't quite hold on to his marks tonight so far. Must admit, though, he's under a fair bit of pressure from his opponent, McDonald. Disposal number 10 into the pockets. Good pass. Mark taken by Robertson.
What Miller did, even though he dropped the mark, he was able to keep the ball alive with that soccer kick to get it to James McDonald, who in turn with the left foot pass found Robertson. This is a tough shot.
Just the type he'd love to have a go at.
Oh, yeah.
The big run around here.
Yeah, the schoolboy days. That's where we practice from more times than in front, Tim. They tell me you did down in Tassie anyway.
Oh, yeah.
So now he's going a straight line, Russell Robertson. Well, the big run around in the arc would be much better TV, I thought.
He's a white boot man, Russell Robertson, and he truly is a white boot man, if you see what I mean. Lappin. Good probing kick for Carlton. And almost taken by Waite. Wheatley. For Robertson, who's now worked his way back up to midfield. And he has space. And he delivers beautifully for Uze. Not the right pocket for him, but he's such a good kick that you always have to respect the possibility that he just might kick a very difficult goal. So the margin just 9 points now, and Melbourne are having the better of things early in this second term.
Melbourne just need to get their key forwards firing. Miller at centre-half forward, Neitz at full forward. Between the two of them, they've taken just the one mark. Compare that to Whitnell and Favola, who've taken 11.
Misses. And the Demons have 3 goals, 7. To trail by 8 points.
From the kick in, Norman takes the mark. Still deep in defence as Carl Norman gets the hurry up. Got Thornton in support. Handball's dodgy. Thornton's up to it. Didn't panic. Finds Lappin at half back. Squeezes out the handball. Back to the running Norman. Winds up the kick. Is it downfield? Well,
it is. It is.
Well, the umpire was right on the spot. Well, did it warrant a free kick down the field? I guess the replay will tell the answer, but the umpire was right there.
Well, again.
Oh, yeah, well, it was bumped after he kicked, so that's fair enough.
And the players know that the umpires are red hot on that. Brock McLean, he will get a message from the coach saying you've just got to control yourself in those situations.
So Brendan Favola has kicked 1-1. Last time decided to pass it off. Bet your bottom dollar he won't be passing this time. He's 40 out. Favola's got 2. So Carl Norman provided the run, and just after he kicked, he was unloaded. It was unnecessary. It wasn't much in it, but it was definitely there.
It was unnecessary, the hit by McLean. Yep. It cost his team a goal. Good to see Norman back himself with some run and dash from the half-back line.
And the Demons just can't quite peg Carlton back after the Blues kicked the first 3 of the match. It's back out to 15 points. Again, the bounce just off the vertical, making it difficult for both ruckmen in a sense. Well played by Stevens, harder at it than McLean. Maloney.
Yeah, he fended off with the hand, Maloney, and the umpire's saying you caught somebody across the shoulder or the throat.
So it's Spawn's ball for the Blues. Favola, he edged his man out, but then Bell just got a fingertip on it. Brown. He'll want the boundary line here, and he'll be happy to get it. A kick and a half from goal. The Blues by 15 points. Middle stage's second term.
I'd like to see this rule, Tim, where the boundary umpire goes in 10 metres. I'd like to see that implemented in the season proper.
McLean getting a boot onto it for Melbourne. Corazzo, good quick hands, got rid of it just in time. Prendergast. Davies, good tackle by Bizzle. Maloney, McDonald. Melbourne can build here on a good rebound. Teague. Good stuff against Robertson, who's not happy, feeling he was held, and he might have a case.
Well, again, that was just about a 50-50.
Yes.
Teague looks like he had a bit of his jumper being held too, so a 0-0 draw there for Russell Robertson as the Blues clear. Corazzo showing plenty of dash out of defence. Good kick into the middle, finds Walker. Taken pick 2 back in the 2003 draft. Walker drives it long. His target's French. Whitnell at the back of the pack, almost held onto it.
It's been paid.
Did he pay that as a mark, Rob?
I'm not sure whether it was a mark or a free kick. I don't think he really controlled it long enough to be paid a mark. I think it was a free. We'll have a look at it again. And you can see Ferguson pushing on Whitnell. And he's got hold of his jumper. Ferguson had a fistful of Whitnell's jumper. And, gee, they're concerned about him. And why wouldn't you? He played so well last week. He started off in the first quarter in red-hot form. And the Melbourne defenders, they are panicking under pressure.
Whitnell for his third. So 2-2 to Lance Whitnell.
Blues out to a 15-point lead again. It's hovered around about that mark for most of the evening, afternoon, whatever you like to call it. Demons need to string a couple together. Williams, who spent most of it on the bench so far. And that's a clever kick, and Miller parked his body in front, held his ground well, and kicked into the man on the mark. Williams, nowhere to go. Kept his cool. McDonald, big possession earner for the Demons. Can someone snare it? Robertson, their only hope. Numbers against him. Uze would need a miracle.
Robertson playing for a free kick. He'd be better advised to go for the mark. Thought he was hard done by a couple of minutes ago and trying to milk a free kick from the umpire. Well, it's not going to happen.
Nice kick by Lappin out into space. Teague runs onto it. Back to Stevens. Sweeps it out wide to Houlihan. Can he keep it in play? Just. Get some support. Now Lappin. Stevens, kick smothered. Gets another crack at it. Into the middle. Spawn. Oh, look at this. Running down from defence is Houlihan. He can run on here and kick a goal. In the end, he decides to go safety first. Shorts it to Whitnell, who gives it back. Oh, kicks into the man on the mark.
Why, oh why, oh why Whitnell and Favola would do that, I do not know.
Oh, Zay flew high. It was Davies, I think, the kicker down the other end that kicked into the man on the mark, just being a bit too fancy, the Blues. It's a free kick going Melbourne's way. That will rub some salt into the wound.
Against McGrath for the tackle from behind.
Yeah, and have a look at the Uze fly. That's what the fans love to see. Wish he had have held it. Would have been certainly sensational. This could be a 2-goal turnaround. Should have been a Carlton goal. Just 30 seconds ago at the other end. Rebounds and bang. Every chance the Demons will capitalise.
What was Ron Barassi's famous term? Stop trying to be so damn fancy.
The runner's just gone out to Whitnell. Probably told him he should have kicked it.
Don't flirt with your form was one.
I remember him saying that to Gerard Healy once.
To cut it to 8 points. He's a long way out. And the distance, it's fair to say, got him. James McDonald. It's McGrath who gave away the free kick to take the resultant free for out on the full to Lappin. Now here's Whitnell trying to atone for his sins. He has them there, and it's Melbourne everywhere. Maloney. They're swinging it long, and no one's taking a big mark in front of goal. And McGrath it is, getting it clear again. This time Carlton better placed. Heffernan outnumbered. Spawn for the Blues. Helping it to Waite. Good tackle, Heffernan. Good contest. Still, it's the Blues by 14 points.
And the Demons playing with a smaller forward line. Uze down there in the goal square. And the skipper, David Neitz, he's on the interchange bench, the big fella.
About to come back on by the looks of things, Robert.
Winning the ruck clearances, Melbourne.
Maloney kicks into the pocket. In front is Robertson. That's a very, very good mark.
Kick wasn't so good. The kick should have been towards the top of the goal square. Maloney knows that.
Now, what will Russell Robertson do this time? Will he run around on this occasion, go the banana or the left foot snap?
I think the bend back off the white boot.
Who would know? But I'm looking forward to finding out.
Well, he's gone the left foot snap. And he's nailed it. Robbo's got a goal.
You picked that.
Too good.
Yeah, it's always better when you play on and run around.
And another ruck clearance, 12-7 in favour of Melbourne. The Maloney kick not all that good, too close to the boundary line, but in the end it didn't matter because Russell Robertson able to show us some very good skill going onto that left boot.
Best and fairest in 2003. Russell Robertson has Melbourne back within 8 points late in the second term. If they could kick another before half-time, we really have a cooker at Telstra Dome. Chambers, who kicked the first goal of the match. Whitnell still working hard. Spawn. Davies easily taken under it, but the mark missed by Whelan, and the Blues are a chance. Fumble by Favola will cost them. Brown, good safe hands. Wheatley, clever little kick.
Whitnell in the back line, Tim, for Carlton. He goes back there towards the end of quarters.
It's on behind play too. It's on behind play.
Now Brown let it go, and McGrath gives it off to Davies. And still the Blues are a chance. Favola, clever. That was good. And Lappin will finish. No, he won't.
Gee, clever football.
And Favola was involved in a bit of a fracas behind play after that little tackle.
Ooh, crude.
So Melbourne had possession, but not for long. A very brave Mark Wiggins should have been paid, surely, for being crunched at least, but the umpire said, no, gee, you got to earn him.
He's a courageous player, Wiggins.
Wasn't it?
Eyes on the ball. It was his turn to go and he went, and Dennis Pagan would be absolutely delighted with that.
Norman. Somehow Williams got boot to ball. Now McLean puts it inside 50. Oh, spectacular from the side. Sylvia and Robertson finishes it off in the end with a goal, does he? Yes.
That was just so clever by Russell Robertson. He knew he couldn't take control of it with his hands. He would have been gobbled up in the tackle.
Sylvia was the man from the side. Spectacular attempt.
And Nietzsche's just come back onto the ground. Have a look at this. He knows that if he goes to grab the footy, Teague will wrap him up in a tackle and lets that ball come down on the boot. Knew every step of the way what he was going to do. Wonderful goal.
Couple ones to Russell Robertson, and the Blues suddenly under pressure. Demons within 3 points. 2 points, 3 points. And they've got it again. They could be in front by half-time. Ferguson to Williams, who's been good since coming on. A hand in there from Walker, just saved the day for Carlton.
It'll go back to Williams, Tim. He got caught over the shoulder.
So 3.5 minutes left, and Melbourne are coming hard here. Who's he after? He's after Neitz, but he hasn't got the carry. And Wiggins was prepared to put himself in the hole again, and David Neitz, as footballers go, closely resembles a Mack truck when he arrives on the lead. This is Scotland.
Goes long, his target is French, drops a bit short. White can't take the mark. Well done by Chambers, good strong football. Fed it out. McGrath. Now Favola at centre-half forward, just bangs it on the boot. Oh, Whitnell got the bounce, that's a lucky goal, but he'll take it. Whitnell's got 3. You've got to make the most of your luck. It was a very lucky bounce, but Lance Whitnell grabbed it and said, thank you.
And that's the value of the quick kick into the forward line. It was a bit of a blind kick, and there we see Lance Whitnell. He's heading towards centre-half back, and Dennis Pagan, no doubt, will be saying, I want to maintain this lead to make sure we go in front at half-time.
Whitnell with 3 and Favola 2 have kicked 5 of Carlton's 7, but Whitnell running back to half-back, between half-back and full-back for the centre bounce, as the Blues look to protect that 9-point break. Terrific contest this. Both teams very keen to go on to the semis of the Wizard Cup. Scotland, cleverly done. Waite, McGrath, and Carlton whisk it away. Melbourne with numbers, Favola with hands and position.
Too good for Bell. Too good for Daniel Bell, and it's a tough job for the youngster to be given that responsibility in the absence of Nicholson and Rivers, but gee, strong. Have a look at Brendan Favola. He is so strong. Quick clearance. Carlton haven't got many of those from the centre. And that is Brendan Favola's 4th contested mark of this game. And 4 contested marks in any game of football is a fine effort, let alone in a half. Just have a look at the size of the shoulders. He's really built himself up over the last few years.
So this for his 3rd, unless he chooses the short option.
I can guarantee you he won't, Tim.
That's a beautiful kick. Carlton still in control. Impressive response by the Blues after Melbourne challenged them.
Yes, 2 quick goals. 6 of their 8 goals have come from the key forwards.
The Favola-Whitnell show continues. 6 goals between them. It's the Blues by 15 points as we near half-time. Melbourne have it. Bruce to McLean. High ball, tip of the goal square. Numbers back for Carlton. Whitnell's one of them. And Whitnell's been paid, has he? Yes, he has. Got to come back.
Everything going right. That just gives Carlton confidence because the plan was get Whitnell back for the last 2 or 3 minutes of the quarter. It takes a saving mark.
And a beautiful kick too from Whitnell. The skills have been good in this match, Carlton. Teague takes the mark. Chambers couldn't get there. Well done by Brown in the end. Little kick by McGrath. Can't find Favola. Throw in. Smack bang on the Docklands wing. Aaron Davey receiving some treatment on the legs.
And Whitnell coming up for this ruck contest.
He's covering more ground than the early explorers. This big Lance, McLean buried by him, which wouldn't have as destructive consequences at the start of this season as it might have had last year. Inside the last minute. Goal either way would be telling. Scotland, who was good at the last centre bounce for Chambers. Whitnell again. He is everywhere. He's been magnificent again in this second round match. And Scotland gets his reward here. Oh, he missed the target badly. Norman having to chase. Wheatley quicker. Brilliantly done by the dashing defender. He could keep going. Oh, he got himself in a bother. He got rid of it, surely.
I reckon it hit his knee.
It did. Well, that's a kick, isn't it? It's a legitimate disposal. I mean, they are obsessed with pinging blokes for holding the ball.
Whitnell inside 50. Tim Lane fired up. Carlton can have a shot at goal. Your team's in front, Tim. Relax.
Yeah, and big mistake that Neil Danaher's made is letting Whitnell run free. Now, Whitnell's played as a centre-half forward for most of the game, but we know he goes into the back line. You can't let him be there by himself because he reads the play better than most, and he will keep on picking up possessions. And here he is. He's saved 1 goal, and he set up another in the last 3 minutes of the game.
So some icing on the Carlton cake here at half-time if Chambers can convert from right on 50. It looks good. Carlton have got another one. We'll go to the break. It's the Blues 59 leading the Demons 38.
Highlights of all 8 games are winners every Sunday. Highlights of all 8 games are winners every Sunday. Hey, Pav, highlights of all 8 games. Oh, I've forgotten the name of the show. I'll be back in a tick.
The new look Camry Sportivo V6 with responsive all-alloy quad cam engine, sports tune suspension with aerodynamic body kit and sports seats.
Myer invites Foxtel subscribers and their friends to experience the latest television accessory. Come along to the exclusive VIP launch of the Foxtel IQ. Be at these Myer stores on the night and you could win a 42-inch LG plasma screen. Plus, there's 10 to 15% off selected electrical products in store. For more details, visit primetimeanytime.tv and book your seat for this exclusive unveiling.
Meister. At the new time of weeknights 9:30, Conan's leading the talk show pack. Only Conan is this charismatic.
The airline AirTran announced plans to paint Elton John's picture on the side of some of their planes. They're going to paint Elton John's picture on the side of some of their planes, yeah. AirTran says the Elton John planes will be like other aircraft, except the passengers will load through the rear.
Only Conan is this enigmatic. undisputed comedy genius.
Is it safe to come back?
Yeah, I don't know.
Good.
I don't know.
That's one of those, do that joke and then get out of show business.
A talk show host worth talking up.
My mom won't get it, la 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 la.
Only the Comedy Channel brings you Conan O'Brien, weeknights at 9:30, followed by Jay Leno at 10:15.
Coming soon to Fox Footy Channel, AFL Love Match.
What is faux fur? Dippers.
What is, sorry?
How much does your favourite AFL player know about his better half?
Every Wednesday night from March 23, AFL Love Match pits the guys against the girls in a test of memory and trivia both on and off the field that's guaranteed to get a laugh.
It puts the AFL's biggest names in a whole new light.
AFL Love Match starts March 23 on Fox Footy Channel.
Welcome back to Telstra Dome. The winner of tonight's match will meet the Western Bulldogs in a semi-final here next Saturday night. The Dogs frustrating the favoured Saints in Launceston on Friday night. They worked hard to get the better of them. They lost the lead, and then in the dying seconds, Cameron Faulkner reclaimed it for them. The Dogs into the last four of the Wizard Cup. And just at the moment, the Blues in the box seat to take on the Bulldogs next week in a semi-final. Christy Malthouse at half-time on the boundary line.
Thanks, Tim. Well, Carlton have just come out into the ground very late, actually just broken up from their huddle, but they're showing a lot of team unity. At quarter time, they were in a tight huddle before Dennis Pagan even got down to the ground, and at half-time, again staying close with a lot to say to each other. Anthony Koutafidis, who's not playing, got around and had an encouraging word for every single player in the rooms. And again, as I said, when they came out into the ground, looking very tight and a very tight unit, which is good to see a team acting like a team off the ground as well as on it.
Thanks, Christy. A new feature at Telstra Dome this year is the Nilex clock. Won't be a countdown clock, though, boys.
Oh, wouldn't Colo love it if it was?
Lance Whitnell has Ryan Ferguson, his opponent, and Daniel Bell going on to Favola. And a couple of old stagers having a chat in the middle there. James McDonald and Nick Stevens.
So it's the Blues by 21 points. They led by 15 at quarter time. 21 is the margin at the main break. Uze. Quick kick out of the pack to half forward. The chase is on. Norman against Williams. There's a whistle on play here. Advantage. It's going Carlton's way to half forward. Flying was Bannister unsuccessfully. Ferguson. Maloney was caught a bit high there, and that's the way the umpire saw it too. So free kick going to Brent Maloney.
Deben starting with Neitz in the forward 50 alongside Russell Robertson and Brad Green.
Miller couldn't take the mark. Handball comes out to White. To Uze. Nice kick.
Clever kick. Pulled the kick. Great vision, Adam Uze. Brock McLean needs to go back, settle down and put it through. And it'll be the start that Melbourne need, because the Blues were able to kick a couple of quick ones just before half-time to set themselves up with that 21-point lead.
Taken number 5 in the 2003 draft. Former All-Australian under-18. A nephew of Ricky McLean.
And wasn't he tough? I had the pleasure of playing with Ricky at Carlton for a couple of seasons.
And the horror of playing against him.
That wasn't much fun, Tim.
Ball shaved the post, went through for 1 point.
Third miss from Brock McLean, 3 behinds. Here's a bad kick in, and Luke Williams should make Ryan Houlihan pay, and that's a rare kicking error from the highly skilled Houlihan.
Well, I just don't think he saw Luke Williams. Williams was out on the boundary line to the right of screen, and he comes in. You can see him coming in there, and there's a hole where there were 3 Carlton players. And I'm sure Ryan Houlihan just didn't realise that Williams out on the boundary line was in a dangerous spot.
Demons have got to make the early running in this half. And there's another wasted opportunity. They're still 19 points down.
So Houlihan breathes a sigh of relief. He'll have another crack at it.
It's the old-fashioned huddle.
Yeah.
The old-fashioned huddle coming into play.
There's plenty of holding going on there too. Scotland takes the ball from defence, finds Lappin on centre wing. Squares it up. And it's all Melbourne. Clint Bizzle got rid of his opponent Wiggins, and managed to take a pretty comfortable mark. He finds Uze on the Docklands wing. And his kick finds Green. So build up here by Melbourne. Neats got the front posse. Front and centre was Miller. Right foot snap is across the face. Robertson. Tackled by Teague. We'll have a throw in.
And Luke Livingston playing on David Neitz and doing a pretty good job at this stage. Robertson playing closer to goal, more or less the full forward. Neitz more towards centre-half forward.
Livingston hasn't had a touch, but he's done pretty well. Does not have a stat. He's a doer defender rather than a brilliant one. Wiggins prizing it away, but straight to Nathan Brown as Melbourne continue to press. No result. Another throw in. Blues have scarcely been forward in the first 3 minutes.
Well, 3 forward, 50 entries to Melbourne, none to Carlton. But they haven't been able to get a goal, Melbourne.
Miller rucking with French. Height advantage to the Carlton man. The former rower, McDonald. Hurried shot. Teague has the sit and does it well.
Well, Stevens has peeled off, but his kick smothered. Comes back to Robertson, and he weaves some magic. Oh! Well, Stevens had peeled off. Teague saw him, went to kick hurriedly, and Robertson did the rest.
Well, he smothered the kick, recovered, and then kicked a brilliant goal. Let's have a look at it again.
But the ball was out of bounds when it was smothered.
That's a really interesting call, Tim, because after the smother, the ball was out of bounds.
Robertson's third. This is controversial. Look where the ball is when it's smothered. It's out of bounds.
Hits Robertson's arms, bounces out of bounds, then bounces back into play. I think it should have been called out of bounds. We'll have to ask the Geesh this week as for a ruling on that.
Here's McGrath for Carlton. We'll talk more about it when we get a chance, if we get a chance. Here's Whitnell. Not quite. Here's Wiggins. Not quite. And the Demons just manage to hold Carlton at bay. Bizzle. Thump. All down to McLean here. A couple against him. Bentic for Carlton as the numbers prevail. Whitnell again and Favola. Can the Fev weave some more magic? Not quite. Yes, the rules were changed in relation to players bringing the ball back.
If you run off your mark, yeah.
And I think it's created a lot of confusion, and I think it's dangerous because now there was not any decisiveness between the umpires as to what had actually happened.
Stevens, 60 from goal, little chip kicks a beauty.
Oh, good play, Nick Stevens.
Well, generally speaking, their foot skills have been excellent tonight, Carlton.
And how Lance Whitnell could be given 10 metres by himself, I do not know. He is the hottest player on the ground.
He's got 3. He drives it home for goal number 4. So there's the quick reply from Carlton. The margin back out to 20 points. And it was all set up by that man, Nick Stevens, with his 15th disposal. And it was a beautiful finish by Whitnell.
Anything Melbourne can do, Carlton just seem to be able to do a little better. They have all the answers. Whitnell has undoubtedly been the player of the Wizard Cup so far. He is dominating a second straight match. French beats White. Scotland. And Carlton are away again. Bannister considers the options and reckons Whitnell is the best of the lot. And how could you argue with that?
This is the best I've seen Lance Whitnell play for a long, long time. 9th mark.
Robert, it does raise the question as to how a club could ever consider getting rid of a player who is, if not in champion class, very close to it.
You then have to think, Tim, he's been on super money for the last 3 seasons and hasn't delivered at all. So how long do you run with that?
You've got to get the best out of him, though, don't you?
Yes, but he, look, he wasn't prepared to make the sacrifices to have the proper diet, to do the training that was required. His biggest enemy was himself, and finally the pennies dropped.
Nice build-up by Melbourne. Davies got it too far from home. Chips it into the pocket. Robertson against Teague. Thornton did it nicely. And Carlton out of danger. French, the link man. And Big Barnaby goes bang into the middle, looks for Whitnell. Got about 5 around him. White to Maloney, just couldn't hang on to it. Didn't get a favourable bounce. A little soccer off the ground. Whelan to Ferguson. He pumps it long inside 50 to a pack. Bottom of the pack is Carazzo. Whistle. It's a free kick and it's going Melbourne's way. 45 from goal for a high tackle, and the recipient is Williams, who plays on.
Looking for the 9-pointer.
Whelan from a long way out has picked a point.
Margin 20. Lappin just miscued that a little, giving Bizzle a hint of a chance. McGrath saw the danger. Still Carlton under pressure. Carlton free kick.
In the back to McGrath.
And 50 for abuse.
Gee, they're lucky to get out of it, and their luck turns into a fortune. Martin Ellis, experienced umpire. Let's go back to that kicking from out of bounds. Now, bear in mind that if Teague is kicking other than over the mark, it should have been out of bounds in the first place.
And let's have a look. We'll get another look at that, because I am sure the boundary umpire gestured that it was out of bounds.
Whitnell again. Is that 50? It's got to be close to it.
I'm sure the boundary umpire gestured that that ball was out of bounds.
See, Robertson can only smother him if he is kicking other than over the mark.
Boundary umpire, bottom of picture. Have a look at him.
Yes.
Arm up.
Oh, play on, said the field umpire.
And then he pulls it down.
Yeah, not well handled. Didn't quite carry home. Bizzle. Smothered.
Gee, the pressure by Carlton's fantastic. They are really harassing this Melbourne team. Melbourne love to get the ball freed up, love to use their run and carry, and Carlton are denying them that.
Teague has come off the ground since that kick in too, for a nice little conversation with Dennis Pagan on the phone.
Scotland has the ball. Releases to McGrath. Boot to ball around the body is not a bad snap. It's better than not bad. It's home. Well, everything the Demons throw at the Blues, Carlton has been able to withstand and answer. And the margin now is a very healthy 26 points. Great snap from Corey McGrath.
The Blues have their biggest lead, and the Demons have a massive job in front of them now. French doing pretty well against White. Neil Danaher spoke confidently about White's ability to come to terms with the new set of ruck rules. McLean, French chasing hard. McLean did well. And the Melbourne skipper, David Neitz, who's had a pretty quiet game so far. In fact, only 2 uses of the ball thus far. Has to kick a goal.
And Jeff White sneaking around the side, hoping to get a handball to have a ping at a 9-pointer.
Captain's got to stand up here. Their goal kicking has let them down all night. 6-12.
Both sides have had 18 shots at goal. But it's Carlton with a 25-point advantage as they work the ball forward once again. Whitnell, the front posse, couldn't mark.
Pressure again by Carlton.
Good tackle by Bruce, but swooping is Chambers.
Favola's found space.
He's got about 10 metres on his opponent at the moment, which is Brown, who was desperate. Beautifully done by Brown. Wonderfully done by the Demons defender. But for how long? Does Carlton get it back again? This is Houlihan. Telegraphed the kick somewhat. White was able to get a fist onto it. Pops it over the top. Back to Brown again. To the wing. Robertson. He's got Green lurking on 50. Decides to go in the direction of Bruce. Bannister was there, but well done by Bruce.
Hasn't had a big impact.
Bannister's done a good job.
Clean hands from Spawn, who Carlton have held high hopes for over a number of years. He's had an injury-plagued career thus far. This might be his year.
Only played 8 matches last year, Tim.
Houlihan to Whitnell for mark number 11. Demons dangerous. This is Maloney, the former Cat, from a long way. Has he got the kicking power? Has he got the accuracy? Not quite the latter. 6-13. They've kicked themselves out of this.
1 goal 5 for the term, Demons.
Lappin's got it. He can pop one over the top here to Scotland. What can the Blues set up? The target is Favola. From the side was Whelan. 50 out from Carlton's goal. We're going to have a stalemate here. Leading possession getters in the match for Carlton, 17 to Whitnell, including 11 marks, 15 to Stevens. While for the Demons, Es McDonald with 17 and McLean with 16. Scotland dispossessed. Brown, geez, a terrier. Kick to the wing, only as far as Lappin, who plays on straight away to Houlihan. He's got Favola short. Now Favola can run on here and just about go for home. Favola goes, bang! Is it a super goal? Not quite.
He knew what he was doing. He summed it all up. A couple of easy lopes in. And let's have a crack at the 9-pointer.
Had to go for it under the circumstances, didn't he, given the rules of the game in this comp?
And had he got it, Tim, I reckon it's just about game over.
Yep. Yeah, it would have been the killer blow. Nathan Brown now, runner-up in the best and fairest last year. Had his best season. Became a father recently. This is Luke Williams. Sitting it up. Can someone snare it? All Carlton. Lappin receiving from Prendergast. Right down the throat of French. Yeah, he got a bit fancy.
He got a bit excited, the big fella. He took the mark and he thought, I'll keep on going. I might hook a goal here. Play within your limitations, young man.
A man's got to know his limitations.
His ambition didn't quite match, or his skill didn't quite match his ambition.
Throw in. Heffernan hasn't seen much game time tonight. Is Chris Heffernan? That's a pretty skillful pickup from Bruce. To Bell. G. Brown. Well, he's down there for Melbourne. Now Bizzle. To no one in particular. Underneath it, taking a very good mark for the Blues is Thornton.
He's a steady player now. Is Brett Thornton.
Houlihan. Precision pass to Scotland. Prendergast. Wobbly old kick inside 50. Whitnell sticks out the backside. But the ball falls in the arms of Wheatley. He switches back to the Dockland side, finds Bell. Oh, gee, Favola has dealt. Is he being reported? Well, Green's been dealt with by Favola, and I'm not sure if there's going to be a booking or not, and it is on. Favola has dealt with Green.
They've got the choker hold on Favola.
Now, I wonder if there's going to be a report or not.
The book's out, I think.
Oh, well, that's not reportable. It was a hip and shoulder, a little bit high maybe, he's off the ground, but What do you think, boys? There's got to be a room for a hip and shoulder. I mean, the elbow was tucked in. He did get off the ground, but that's surely, Robert, a hip and shoulder in modern football.
Well, I agree. It certainly wasn't an elbow to the face. It was tucked in. We saw the elbow come up after the collision. But there's no doubt Carlton officials will be worried in today's climate.
So he has been reported, but there's got to be some physicality in the game, Tim. Surely that...
Although if you get an arm into a player's face, you have to take responsibility, I guess. And, and the manner of the arm contacting the face...
There's no doubt it was high contact, but...
will be given close scrutiny, and I guess that's why...
Well, when can you hip and shoulder a person now?
Yeah, well, you've got to avoid the head.
That's a tough one. Glad we're not adjudicating on that one next week. So Favola has had his number taken.
And Green has just come off the ground, but he looks okay.
We believe he will confirm it. We'll get Christy Malthouse to confirm that, in fact, there has been a report. But it appears that this man, the Fev, who's having a great game, has been reported. He winds up from about 65 metres out into the goal square. That's a mark to Davies.
What a vintage Favola response to the hoots of the crowd.
He just
I'll show you, I'll kick one from 65.
He will thrive on that.
So Justin Davies is on a very tight angle, but there is room for him here to run around and have a snap. Well, he didn't need to run around in the end. Just went the straight line. And here's the Favola kick.
This is a really gutsy and skillful mark by Davies. Running with the flight in the end. Total disregard for whatever's around. Eyes only for the football and able to pluck it.
And just confirming that Brendan Favola has had his number taken. We're not exactly sure of the charge for an incident with Brad Green, who's sitting on the bench at the moment, but Favola is in the book.
We were at a match here one Saturday night last season when he went into the book, and I think came out of it with a couple of weeks.
With Nathan Brown, wasn't it?
Brown, yep. Tough contest for the footy, Melbourne winning it, but not for long. Scotland been pretty good around the midfield for Carlton. Bizzle did nicely there against Davies, who was conceding centimetres.
It's time Neil Danaher put Bizzle on either Favola or Whitnell, because the two youngsters aren't up to the task. I don't know how far away Rivers and Nicholson are with injury, but gee, do the Demons need them?
Apparently Rivers is about a week off, I was asking before the game.
Paul Johnson, former Eagle. Not much marking power there for the Demons tonight. Neat's got his hands onto that, but couldn't hold it. Robertson, who's been their major goal kicker. And he's added to his tally with a very clever one. Demons barely alive. Sylvia it was, levering out the hand pass, and Russell Robertson just knows where they are. He has good goal-kicking instincts.
Angled it on the boot perfectly.
Russell Robertson with his fourth goal keeps the Demons alive. 25 points in favour of Carlton, still a long way from home.
And Miller has been moved onto Brendan Favola.
The bottom of all that is Maloney, and we'll have a bounce as Temper's just a little bit frayed.
Rob, I've got to say, I reckon those centre ruck contests now lack something. I mean, they're not at all spectacular.
Demons into attack once again.
Bit pedestrian, Tim.
Houlihan to Whitnell.
And there's Whitnell again, late in the quarter, getting into the defensive half.
To Spawn, who, as we said, only played 8 matches in 2004 because of an injury-riddled season. He's fresh and fit.
See how Miller goes on Favola.
Here he is.
And pretty hard to stop that one.
So Brendan Favola will line up for goal number 4.
Enjoying himself, Favola. See how far he goes back from the man on the mark. Goes back an enormous distance, settles himself down.
Just harping back to that, I know that contact was high, but there's got to be room for a hip and shoulder in football. So in this game, obviously sometimes high-ish contact is going to be unavoidable, but are we going to get rid of the hip and shoulder altogether the way it's going?
The hip and shoulder's fine, but if the hip and shoulder connects with the opponent's head, that's when you're in strife in today's climate.
Intentional, reckless or negligent?
That is the question.
Favola for his 4th. Has got it. So 4 to Favola, 4 to Whitnell. Between them, they've had 33 possessions and 20 marks.
And there's Lance Whitnell in picture. Lance Whitnell's playing in defence. At least in this quarter, Neil Danaher's made sure that he has an opponent. He didn't do that in the second quarter, and it cost the Demons.
Now, watch this contest. There's just... everyone seems to be indeterminate. It is almost impossible, I would think, at the moment. Now, perhaps something will evolve, but for Ruckman to gain an ascendancy over their opponent. Houlihan, well tackled, but always has that little bit of time. Bannister, Favola again, all 2 coming at him hard. Davies. Bannister to Stevens. Eddie Betts been quiet, kicked one early, hasn't been able to add to that tally. Blues by 31 points. Brad Green on the bench, he was on the other end of it as Favola collected him, and the name of Brendan Favola went into the umpire's book.
Whitnell to do the ruck work. Ferguson over the top with the fist. Demons clear. Maloney couldn't quite trap it. Oh, beautifully done, Lappin. Prendergast gets ridden into the ground. Play on, says the umpire. Quick kick out of the pack by Wiggins. Bizzle. And his kick finds Miller. Told to play on. And that was a poor option. Brad Miller. Turnover. One last chance for Carlton. Now the siren went before Favola took the mark, I reckon.
Split second before.
The umpire mightn't have heard it, but I reckon the siren went before Favola took the mark, but the umpire said it's a mark.
Well, the second umpire's going down to the umpire who's guarding the mark. They're conferring.
Siren definitely went. Yes, good call.
And a good call.
Sorry, Carlton fans, but that was the right call. Favola's put one through anyway for good measure. So let's listen to a replay. One last chance for Carlton. Now the siren went before Favola took the mark, I reckon. It was just, but it was there. Good call by the men in orange. We had everything that quarter at the last break. It is the Blues in front by 31, Robert Walls.
Yes, and they thoroughly deserve that lead. They have really worked well as a team. Their midfield's been strong. They're sharing the football. They've got the 2 gun forwards firing. Barnaby French is doing a good job. Brett Thornton's holding up at centre-half back. I don't think the Blues are going to lose this one.
The 2005 Wizard Cup is proudly brought to you by Tooheys New. It's all good. Harvey Norman, there's a store near you. Jim Beam, stay true. Bunnings Warehouse. And Toyota, supporting the 2005 AFL Premiership season.
Mate, can you just take that back to that bandit throwing for me, please?
Watch a big screen TV without a sound system and you're missing out on half the home theatre experience. Turn it on with an awesome home theatre sound solution from Harvey Norman. We can build a home theatre system solution for you from components tailor-made for every budget or desire. State-of-the-art Dolby Digital EX 6.1 channel surround sound and more. The best brands: Sony, Pioneer, Marantz, Onkyo and Kenwood. Friendly staff who know their sound. Get the full sound experience from your home theatre sound solution specialist, Harvey Norman.
My oldest friend. My east. My west side. My private side. My heartbreak. My heartbeat. My life happens here. My card is American Express.
The world's sexiest archaeologist is back on Showtime.
Hello, boys. You're all wet.
And the threat of evil has risen again.
His name's Jonathan Rice. He doesn't care who his weapons kill or why.
Rice is going to find Pandora's box.
Do you mean the Greek myth?
That's the Sunday school version, yes. Will unleash a weapon more powerful than you could ever imagine.
But hell hath no fury like a woman on a mission.
You ever do anything the easy way
and risk disappointing you?
Showtime presents Angelina Jolie in the action-adventure sequel that'll really get your blood pumping.
No one who has gone looking for the box has come back.
Take me to Pandora's box.
It's your destiny to see what's inside.
Lara Croft Tomb Raider, The Cradle of Life. Commences 8:30 Sunday, March 27 on Showtime.
Get ready for a football feast.
It's Fox Footy's Saturday Central.
From March 26, Fox Footy Channel delivers more live and exclusive Saturday coverage than ever before. Join AFL legends Jason Dunstall and Wayne Carey from midday Eastern every Saturday for the best footy menu on offer.
Interviews, previews and studio guests, and it's all live.
Taking you right up to 2 huge games exclusively live. Saturday Central.
It's your home of live Saturday football.
Well, Carlton lead by 25 points, but we figure it should in fact be 34 points. They've been robbed of 9 points, the Blues. Callum Chambers kicked a 9er, it was given as a 6-pointer. And then Teague played on, Robertson smothered it, it was over the line, was it out of bounds? Field umpire said no, Robertson kicked the goal. It's all happening at the Telstra Dome. Brendan Favola's been reported, but the Blues seemingly are on their way to a Wizard Cup semi-final berth against the Western Bulldogs. Favola 4, Whitnell 4, Robertson 4 for the Demons. McDonald 20 touches for Melbourne. Houlihan, Lappin and Scotland 18 each for the Blues, Robert Hall.
We've been doing our calculations, incidentally, Rob. If Favola is found guilty, you'd probably assess him at the lower end as a negligent act. Maybe it would be considered reckless. It was high, and I'm saying if he was found guilty, it was in play, the contact perhaps medium. That had come in at level 2, 225 points. That would be 2 weeks, and of course he does have a record from last year, although a guilty plea might balance that out.
Well, it's all new to us, isn't it, Tim? But I think you've calculated it pretty well. If he's found guilty, he may well get a week, I would think.
There's the membership details for Carlton and the Demons, and they changed the score on me just in a flash at three-quarter time. They've given Carlton an extra goal. Hope it wasn't the Favola kick. But the margin now is 31 points. I had it down as 25. Definitely 31.
Yep.
So anyway, we've got 6 more points for Carlton anyway. Favola on the siren was not awarded the mark. Correct decision by the umpires, but he's got more worrying things ahead of him. Brendan Favola has been reported for an incident with Brad Green. Let's go down to Christy Malthouse.
Thanks, Stephen. Well, I can tell you that Brendan Favola has been reported for rough conduct, so that is the official charge for him.
Rough conduct. There's Melbourne going to attack. There's still life just for Melbourne, but they want to get the first couple of goals at least.
Paul Johnson from West Coast Eagles, thumping long left foot kick. Let's see what he does here.
It's the Blues by 31. Melbourne go deep into attack. Robertson, who's kicked 4, but not on this occasion as he puts it out of bounds on the full. 23 degrees still in Melbourne. Outside, it's 20 degrees inside at the moment at Telstra Dome. 86 plays 55, Blues in front.
Warmer to come over the next couple of days. Barnaby French.
He's been very good for Carlton, improving all the time. Just needs to be given that responsibility in the ruck, and he'll develop further and further.
Prendergast has been around at Optus Oval for a few years now, and he is full of enthusiasm and good spirit and plays some pretty competitive footy, but Bizzle's in the way. So the Demons have got to do a lot right here. The margin 31, and on the Stephen Quartermain correction factor, it should in fact be 40.
40, yes.
And yet Carlton have only had one more scoring shot. The Demons' kicking for goal has been atrocious. Robertson to McDonald, and back to Robertson. It was untidy all the way. Bruce, free kick Melbourne's way. Play on called now as Bruce blazes, and in fact the advantage call, and I'm pretty sure it was that, is to their disadvantage.
Cameron Bruce been harassed for the last 3 quarters by Jordan Bannister, and Bannister's done a fine job for his side.
This is Waite. It's a high ball to the wing, and cammed underneath it is Bruce, and he's been awarded the mark. Despite some harassment from Bannister.
We saw Neil Danaher at 3/4 time really give it to his players. I think he'd be very disappointed with what they've served up in the first 3 quarters.
As the Reverend looked as though he was preaching hell, fire and brimstone.
Well, he wouldn't let the assistant coaches talk to the players first, as they usually do. He said, I'll take control here, and he did.
To the 50. Jamar got pushed out in the marking contest, and the umpires awarded him a free. Too far out to score.
Watch out for the 9-pointer.
McDonald squares it up, hoping for a big hanger. Neitz is there, so is Robertson. Now, Robertson was just bumped out of the contest just before the ball came into the area, and I think that's what the umpire has ruled he has as a free kick coming back, and it is Robertson. Is it? Bit of confusion out there. Yes, Russell Robertson. So as he was flying for the mark, he really got buffeted out of the contest. Didn't have an opportunity to fly for the ball. And Russell Robertson will go back and line up for goal number 5.
He's, you can see Livingston just gives a bit of a nudge. Robertson plays it up. And the umpires say, yeah, well, we'll give you a free kick for that. Easy free kick.
What do you think, Tim?
I thought it was the smirk of a man who knew he'd pulled one over the umpire.
Robertson's kicked his 5th. So the Demons still alive?
Well, as far as marking forwards go for the Demons, David Neitz has given them nothing. Brad Miller has given them nothing. Robertson, who isn't as tall as them, but he certainly can get up in the air, he's been able to snag 5, so he's certainly done his job. And have a look at the mismatch there. Paul Johnson against David Teague. And they should really try to isolate that. Get all of the Melbourne forwards out of the 50 and just have the big Johnson back there in front of the goals. Put real pressure on Teague. Put it on top of Johnson's head. That's what he's there to do. Take the marks.
Another bounce off the vertical. When that happens, the umpires immediately call play on. McLean into half forward and Godfrey. Virtually on the 50 when he marked it. Demons need to string a couple together. Johnson, their only hope, as Neitz fell over. Robertson has been their only hope all day. He has 6. It's alive again.
And I guess with Johnson, Teague will only try to do one thing, and that's get a fist on the footy, because he knows he can't outmark him. And that can be an advantage for the Demons. And I think Thornton needs to be moved off Russell Robertson. Robertson's beaten him. Teague onto Robertson. Thornton onto Paul Johnson. And Dennis Pagan with the phone might be making that move now.
6 out of 9. Russell Robertson. Single-handed performance up forward. Melbourne alive again. 18 points in it early in the last. And there'll be another ball up.
And interesting, Lance Whitnell has put himself into the Carlton backline after those 2 early goals to the Demons. I think he's decided, well, I better shore things up.
Prendergast. Quick kick into Carlton's forward line. Bizzle off the pack. Sharked it nicely. 3 Demons peel off. They've got some run in their legs yet. Maloney. Squarey kicks a beauty to Neitz. That is a fantastic pass.
It is an absolute gem of a pass by Maloney.
So David Neitz directly in front. 40 metres out. There is life in this game yet. Don't worry about that.
It was a great kick. Travelled at least 50 metres, but hard and low.
Well, David Neitz is having a very, very ordinary night by his lofty standards.
3 behinds, and they've all been from set shots, I think I'm right in saying, and they've all been very kickable. Wantonly wasteful performance.
Gee, Sylvia, you cannot do that. You just can't let a bloke take a mark and then slam him into the ground with a 2-handed push. His team's got the ascendancy, and have a look at that. Time elapsed, no need for that.
Wiggins spearing it into the chest of Bannister. Carlton have always had the answers in this game. Miller, though, beats Favola this time for Ferguson. Long ball for Brown. Whitnell riding him. Played him well. Just 3 kicks in it. And Melbourne on their way back from the dead.
Might be 2 kicks in it, Tim.
Well, that's true. 2 long kicks. Crowd under 20,000. A little disappointing. An unusual time for the match. Twilight Sunday evening encounter. And perhaps it might be adjudged as something less than a success in crowd pulling terms. The takeaway for the Demons. Nathan Brown. Here's Neitz again. Hard for him from there. Godfrey. Hard from there too. But that's not a bad kick. Ferguson kicks the goal. The Demons are alive.
And you know why Ferguson kicked the goal? Because his opponent is Lance Whitnell.
She almost got it, Robertson, didn't he? He's having a night out.
Well, Lance Whitnell put himself in defence. Neil Danaher made sure he had an opponent, and that is Ryan Ferguson. And that's the advantage of making sure that you don't let Whitnell freewheel by himself back there in the defensive half for the Blues.
All of a sudden, it is Carlton by just 11 points, and Melbourne at this stage seem to have a bit more run in the legs. Green to Bruce. Oh, that's brave by Chambers. Stood his ground. Houlihan. Is it intentional? No, says the umpire. Callum Chambers stood his ground. Knew the crunch was coming.
We've got a game now, and there are definitely 2 kicks in it, whichever way you look at it. The Demons are coming, but Nick Stevens, Carlton's acting captain, stands in their path and gives to Bannister. Stevens keeps running as the Blues look to produce the response. Oh, Bizzle in the way. Fine effort. Tall, athletic, and timely. And suddenly Melbourne stringing it together as they haven't done through the first 3 quarters of this match. James McDonald, who was their best early and perhaps still is, has had 23 uses of the ball. They don't stand the mark. Wheatley gives him a short target.
So Wheatley at half-back for Melbourne.
Teague still on Johnson.
Thumping kick to half forward. Misses everyone. Ferguson again, inside 50. Robertson in front, not quite. Whitnall's back there, so is Teague. The Blues all of a sudden under pressure, but Teague did it nicely. Beautiful kick under pressure. It was too to Scotland, who kicks it to half forward into open space. Attacking it and backing himself was Miller, and he won the football. Here come Melbourne. Brown into the middle. Finds McLean. Kicks it wide, the lead's by Neitz. Robertson from behind almost. Free kick, it's a push, and it is going Johnson's way.
It's all Melbourne at the moment.
9-pointer, perhaps.
He's a long way from home. Odds against. Big kick. Won't quite carry. Neitz just couldn't get into the contest.
Gee, I think that was Lance Whitnall who got the fist on it.
Yep. A lot of time left. And Melbourne with every chance now.
French kicks into the middle. Well, Bell couldn't take the mark, and he ended up tapping it straight to Chambers for a 9-pointer, and he's got one in the end. There is a God. Justice is done. And a very timely 9-pointer as well, Robert Walls.
Oh, gee, I like the way Chambers plays. We know he's got courage. He also has plenty of dash and dare about him. He took that ball on the wing and was prepared to run and carry. Very open forward line. And he's excited.
And I guess a bloke of his size who couldn't quite make it at West Coast is not necessarily a footballer lacking the ability to make it at another club, because they're so rich in talent in their midfield.
Hang on, there's something happened here, and it was McGrath of Carlton has pushed a Melbourne player over, so a Demon free kick at the bounce.
Long ball Maloney. Whitnall. He has been magnificent. And he finds French.
After that Chambers goal, Whitnall pushed himself into the forward line. The runner came out and said, go back to defence. Whelan ducked his head. Don't do that.
Soccer off the ground by McGrath. Houlihan runs out of space.
Final quarter stats. Domination by the Demons, 39-22. And inside 50s for this quarter, 10-3. That 9-pointer, how important was that for Carlton?
Jamar the tap. Snared by Stevens. Good tackle, McDonald. Bizzle. Caught high, said the umpire.
Jeff White coming on. Jamar off. 50-metre penalty. Too slow getting it back to Bizzle.
Well, this game has really been broken open in the last term, and all sorts of things are happening now. And that could set up a 9-pointer. Man on the mark is at about 50 and a half. He wanted to stand on the paint. Did Jared Wade? I think he wanted the mark to be on the 50 to nullify the option of the 9-point goal. But the umpire indicated it was outside the 50. Smart. So Bizzle could kick a super goal. Long and high. Hanging. Alive. Robertson just couldn't claw it out. There's a goal to Uze, is it?
Soccer goal.
It was. There was about 6 goalies on the line too.
And he's had a pretty quiet game, Adam Uze, but you see the desperation. Carlton defenders flipped out. Oh. And Uze, sharp of mind, isn't he? He's a clever player.
Carlton 14, Albania 1.
Here's the Adamuse goal.
And still just 2 kicks in it in this 9-point game.
It's the Blues by 13. Ooh, solid bump in the middle. Melbourne win possession yet again. Another centre break. Maloney from 60. Long kick. Long. Goal. Super goal. It's a 9 out of the D's. It's a 4-point ball game. Blues in front.
James McDonald, a terrifically weighted hand pass. It just meant that Maloney was running at full tilt when he received it. You'll see this. He's running flat out, so he's got the momentum up. Couple of steps, and then bang. And some good jostle on the goal line. Enables that ball to go through for a 9-pointer.
From 31 down at the last change, the Demons within 4 points. Important centre contest this. Scotland fumbled but got it back. All Melbourne, 4 of them back there. And even then there was nearly a collision. Cameron Bruce with Whelan in space. Wheatley running to lay the shepherd. McLean. Demons haven't been in front other than when they kicked it behind in the early moments. They nearly turned it over, but Miller's got it back to McLean. Neats from behind. Whitnell at ground level.
Neat's been moved out to centre-half forward. Paul Johnson to full forward. Paul Johnson in the goal square against David Teague. It's David on Goliath. And that's the plan. Get it long to the top of the square. Let Johnson use his height against Teague.
55 out from Melbourne's goal. McGrath with his head over the ball. To Stevens. Ineffective disposal. Throw in on centre wing.
Melbourne have been in front for 30 seconds of the contest. Carlton have been in front for the other 94 minutes.
Teague has been taken off. And Walker has gone down onto Johnson, and he is shorter than Teague.
White smashes it forward, but only as far as Lappin. Scrubs a kick into the middle. The chase is on. It's Bannister against Bruce. Bruce with his body over the football. Plays a bit of tunnel ball. Bizzle can't get it. Houlihan can. Here's a chance for Houlihan. Squares it up into the corridor. Scotland. Couldn't get it. Favola, great handball. McGrath.
Paul Wheatley let himself down. Not hard enough. Ball came to him on the bounce. You'll see it here. Gets it. Not hard enough. Coughs the footy up. Carlton goal.
Neil Danaher not happy. Fumble from Paul Wheatley, who was actually running back towards the goal he was defending. I just wonder, because he was heading in that direction as he got his hands onto the ball, whether he had a moment of self-doubt and he fumbled it. And Corey McGrath made him pay. Out to 2 kicks again. Carlton's way. McLean. Uze should mark this and does. Thrown to the ground by Spawn. He's tempting fate.
Cole Norman at fullback on Johnson.
Thought Spawn was a little lucky there. Poor option from Uze. Whitnell. He's been the standout player again for the 2nd week in a row. McGrath, who's kicked 2 second-half goals to have an impact for Carlton. Those 2 goals at this moment are the difference, with the Blues leading by 10 points. Good kick hugging the boundary line, and if it came off Favola's hands, there was only one place it was going to go.
Leading stat getters in the game, McDonald 25, McLean 23 for the Demons, Stevens 22, Houlihan 21 for the Blues. Here's another one for McLean. Wobbles 1.5 forward. Neats in front. Gathers. Harassed by Livingston. Did it nicely, but Neats still got the handball away. Lappin dangerously knocked it into the corridor. Whitnell.
Good kick.
It was. Straight down the throat of Chambers. He's kicked 3 goals, Chambers, including a 9-pointer. Well, it was 2, but only awarded 1. And his kick finds Houlihan at half-back.
Waiting for Favola to get into position to contest this. Blues are happy for Barnaby French, their ruckman. Barnaby French is 120 metres away from this contest in a defensive spot in front of Russell Robinson. That means Favola will ruck.
Free kick to Melbourne.
And that's the worry when you have non-ruckman ruck.
Favola's arguing that, in fact, he went up in the ruck against White and the Miller was a third man in, therefore he was allowed to bump him. Umpire said no.
That's a big grab from Ferguson. Gee, there was some pushing and shoving. There was a lot happening in that exchange. As we enter the last 5 minutes, time enough for the Demons. Scarcely been in front all night. Can someone snare this? No, they can't. McLean, Brown, Uze dangerous with the left, but he can't get onto it. And Lappin got a telling hand in there and gives the Blues a lot of territory. Bruce versus Bannister. Bannister, good stopper. Not a bad result for the Blues.
Good steal by Matthew Lappin. Good position to put it out wide on the wing. And again, Barnaby French stays back in Carlton's defensive 50. And I think we're going to have Walker do the ruck work against White.
And not surprisingly, White wins the tap. But it wasn't really an effective one. Wheatley to McDonald. Heffernan backs himself, drills it back inside 50. Neats is out of position. Good mark, Livingston. Well done.
Yes, he did well. Stood his ground.
And his kick finds Houlihan. Gee, it's only February.
Had some terrific games in the Wizard Cup.
Yeah.
Good finishes. And Carlton will be looking to maintain possession. If they can't maintain possession, kick it long towards the boundary line.
Good mark, Scotland. Quarters have run 24, 27 and 26. This has been going the best part of 24. Carlton dangerous here. Chambers, did he do enough? No play on. Wiggins, rolling, trickling, dribbling, goal. It just had enough on it. Through the legs. The foot never left the ankles. Carlton lead by 17 as a result of that. Melbourne need 2 super goals to snatch this game.
If it was soccer, it'd be 1-1. One to Uze, one to Wiggins.
In fact, 16 is the margin.
Is that enough for Carlton? Stevens wins it in the middle. Little kick to half forward. Waite pops it over the top for Fowler. Bizzle with courage. They've got the extra man. That was brilliantly done by Clint Bizzle. He's had some heavy knocks the last couple of years, and he didn't shirk the issue there. White to Godfrey.
Barnaby French in the hole. Jeff White off.
Looks for Neats. Whitnell the double fist. McDonald. Houlihan. Jamar kicks it to the tip of the goal square. Oh, almost. But no mark as Livingston clears and heads for the hills. And did it nicely.
I reckon that might have been their last chance, Melbourne. Uze threw himself looking for a free kick. Umpire said, I'm having none of that.
This might be as good a game as Luke Livingston's played for Carlton. Very solid back there. Done a great job for them.
Inside 50s, just dominated by the Demons this quarter.
Walker been pretty quiet. Spent some bench time. Favola been outstanding. Kicked 4 goals, but had his number taken.
Smart.
Lappin.
Smart kick.
By 16, and the Blues poised now for what would be a well-deserved victory and a semi-final showdown with the Bulldogs. Lappin goes for distance. Too much of it. Whelan to take the resultant free kick for the Demons. They really do now need 2 9-pointers to snatch it.
Kick straight up the middle. Whitnell desperate. So's Ferguson on hands and knees. Somehow won the football. Shoveled it out to Brown.
Good
Robinson
spoil.
Couldn't take the mark. It was a great spoil. Chambers again. He's had some sort of night too. Drills it right into the middle of the ground. McGrath, clever kick to Norman. Poor kick to half forward. Whelan can't trap it. There's Wheatley. Sidesteps, tripped. Now Miller to the wing. And Godfrey's soccer, I think's on the full. No, it was touched, said the umpire. So throw in. It's the Blues by 16 points.
And Dennis looking as though he's just relaxing a little now. Looks can be deceptive, of course. The reality probably much different. Melbourne's ball. Jamar, Rigoni. Got to make something of this and then kick one straight out of the middle, you'd reckon. And they might kick one here. Heffernan. But 6 points is not really enough. The margin is still 10.
And Chris Heffernan, just his 3rd kick of the game. It's a good one on his left boot.
Well, they need a 9-point play out of the middle.
How long to go, Tim?
Not long. A handful of seconds, I'd reckon.
Blues by 10 points. It's been an entertaining game in this Wizard Cup quarter-final for Favola. 12th mark. He's kicked 4 goals. He's been reported. He's wasting time. Whitnell and Favola, 25 marks and 8 goals between them. And 38, make it 39 possessions. There it is. The Blues are home. They have defeated the Demons by 10 points. Next week, the Wizard Cup semi-finals. It is the Eagles against the Kangaroos at Subiaco. And it is the Western Bulldogs playing the Blues at Telstra Dome. Hope you enjoyed the match. We'll see you next week for the Wizard Cup semi-finals. Good night.
The 2005 Wizard Cup is proudly brought to you by ANZ. Play your cards right. Bow repairs. All you need to know about tyres. Jetstar. All day, every day, low fares. And Engine, the broadband phone company.
The day of reckoning is upon us. All your prayers will be answered.
Hallelujah.
Jason's disciples, Nick, Nathan, Peter, they are wise beyond their years. Saints, beware of demons. Cats, beware of dogs. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me, footy!
Welcome to the 3rd year at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Please grab your books before they grab you. Make sure you don't miss the Hogwarts Express. If you are stranded, the night bus will ensure you get to the station on time. This year, you'll meet a few new faces at Hogwarts.
I am Professor Trelawney. Together we shall cast ourselves into the future.
They may seem a little overzealous, but please show them respect. And now, a word of caution. Hogwarts will play host to the Dementors of Azkaban until the capture of Sirius Black. Under no circumstances are students to wander school grounds after dark. And finally, any underage wizardry outside of school will result in severe punishment.
Experience Foxtel box office only on digital.
In today's show, Nickelodeon gets intense. Nick is on the hunt for the ultimate campers, and we've got an exclusive sneak peek. There are no DVD players, no Game Boys, and no mobile phones. Just 8 young campers roughing it in the wild. Described as Survivor with Slime, 4 teams of best friends will see who can outplay, outwit, and outgross their opponents. Camp Orange will test contestants' determination and imagination to discover who will win the big orange battle.
On your marks, get set.
Now for a look at a controversial program about parenthood and prejudice. The Lifestyle Channel introduces us to Tony and Barry in Gay Dads. This 1-hour special follows the journey of 2 wannabe fathers in their quest to become parents.
This is the moment in which they had invested so much time, money, and emotional energy.
In a battle of fool versus cool, Movie Greats presents Hollywood head-to-head with Clouseau versus Bond.
James Bond.
Movie 1 brings us Daddy and Them, a black comedy written and directed by Billy Bob Thornton.
I know I didn't make sense. I ain't stupid.
Discovery Science gets the motor running with massive engines, locomotives. A look at the revolution inspired by steam engines.
Words can't really express just how exciting it is.
And Channel V is taking live music and awesome skating to the East Coast for Detour 05. For more info on anything you've seen today, have a look inside your March magazine. I'll see you next time on Select.
The Pies then headed to the MCG for the blockbuster round 17 clash with the Bulldogs. The winner would move into double chance calculations, while the loser would drop out of the top 5.
He's going to kick a goal, does it beautifully. Simon the Pieman comes Malin, slows up, shepherded by Kennedy, and Footscray out of danger through McLean.
Lovely football by Kennedy. Look out, Royal. Back to McLean it goes. Back to Royal is absolutely superb. At centre wing, he drives it across, and Tony Shaw and Beasley. And Tony Shaw's got them out of trouble. Danny Seo's down. This is really magnificent football. Purser battles with Turner. Turner out to Dacos. Dacos caught. Dacos caught.
Beautiful.
Out to McInnes, always under pressure and trouble as Abernethy crashes into him. Still a chance for Shaw. And a goal to Taylor. Oh, and Taylor threw a punch at Malin. Nice pick up by Tadzaris. Tadzaris now steadies and sends it long, looking for Petraglia, and up goes Jamie Turner and takes a beauty. Foster's left footer goes downfield, and up goes Phillips. Fellows.
Collingwood prevailing in a tight struggle. 4 unanswered goals in the final term, giving them a come-from-behind 11-point win. The news even worse for the Bulldogs, with star wingman Doug Hawkins requiring a full knee reconstruction.
McPherson down to centre-half forward. Rance is the target. Oh, Crow, beauty.
Waitman, tries to barge his way through.
Richmond had to beat St Kilda at Moorabbin to keep their slim finals hopes alive. The Tigers hunting for their 4th straight win over the Saints.
Nobody standing the mark. The long kick for goal is through. Second goal to Rene King from his 9th kick.
St Kilda in turn go long to Tomei. Well-placed kick.
De May onto his left foot. Young misses it, taken by Burns. Lockett in position to mark, and it does so. Clark, the big leaper. Knock on goes to Frangalis. Good hands to Geary. Geary's kick to the big fella in Lee. Now using the ball well, St Kilda. Their confidence is high, and it goes to Collins. Almost marks. After it again. Doubles back, kicks over the shoulder. And we see the big fella. Wow, Jones. Frawley, intercepted by Jess. Goes to Kink. Shows strength. Oh, it's a great goal by Kink. Good mark, McConville. Plays on. Oh, almost a highlight, that one. A brilliant one-hand mark taken by the great Trevor Barker.
Oh, Lovell not able to break clear. Now, Rene, you can make amends. To May from 20 metres out. It's come back. It's a goal.
St Kilda getting a 7-goal opening term flyer and extending their lead at every change for a shock 75-point win. Ironically for Tony Jewell, his Tigers finals hopes dashed by the team he'd coached to the wooden spoon the previous year.
Burns. Oh, what a fine mark.
Well, that was a great mark, wasn't it, from Burns? He's been a good player all day, and he's starting off his third quarter as though he really means business again.
A crunch game for the Lions as they faced league leaders Hawthorn at Princes Park. Fitzroy needing an upset win to keep in touch with the top 5.
Couldn't break clear. Hawthorn kick it quickly. What a mark by Schwab.
11 points the difference, and we've played 18 minutes in the second quarter. Pert kicks it straight up the centre. What a mark taken by Dipper. His kick is smothered. Wallace back to Loveridge. Loveridge kick to half forward. Platten. Oh, good mark by Platten. Play the mark.
Here goes Dipper a minute ago. Here was good. Gary Ayres shoots it right over to the air, and that's a top goal for the back pocket player.
And Dean Turner now comes up the centre half forward. Kicks quickly to full forward. A 2-out duel. No mark taken. Osborne. Snapshot for goal by Osborne. And it could be another one. It's another goal to Fitzroy.
They're into attack once more. Again through Laurie. Here's Langford and Osborne. Great opponents. Osborne the winner. Thornton boots the ball up into no man's land. Laurie, brilliant pick-up. 30 metres from goal. Has a quick look. And a mark. Barker Barwick.
Goes to Blakey. Gets clear. Good play, Blakey. Kicked the centre half forward. Punched away from Osborne by Langford. Crumbs taken by McGrath. Kicks it to Dwyer. Can he break clear? He does, and bangs another one through. It's an avalanche of goals for Fitzroy.
He's doing a great job out there, and so is Terry Wallace. Back to Abbott, the half-back. Hasn't done a great deal. Platten measured himself off 40 metres. Should take the free kick and darts around the man on the mark. He's 40 metres out and running full of fire. Oh, quick dart. Lions come into the centre now.
After an even first half, it was the Lions blitzing the premiership favourites with 10 goals to 2, giving them a fantastic 51-point win. Their second over the Hawks for the year.
You can mark this fella. And Barwick coming through now. He's done very little in this match to date. Now he's down out of business, and Laurie picks up a fresh man. He's on his knees. Handballs backwards to Barwick. A blind shot. Oh, another goal. That's not bad play by the Lions.
Strong play by Ayres. Rebound football.
And Hawthorn's run wasn't going to get any easier. Off to Windy Hill in round 18 for a showdown against the steadily improving Bombers.
Dippy a minute ago. Got rid of it quickly. Judge comes to the rescue. Oh, lovely handball to Platten. This is great. Oh, gee, he was so astray from the losing side. Possibly the best ever effort on the MCG in a grand final from Dermot Brereton. Flicked away. No one able to get that. He's out. A quick look over here, and he's bolting away for his second goal. Clark. Hawker, always a good player. Up to Duckworth, and he's out again. Now he's on the right side. A left footer right through. 3 goals he's kicked. Across to Duckworth. Held on to a bit long there, and Hawker's the target and gets it. And he's thumped to the ground. Very strong bump by Gary Ayres. He's a very vigorous back player. Gary Ayres from the free kick. I can't tell you for what reason at the moment, but he sees Tuck standing at the midfield. Oh, and he's crunched down heavily. A hard tackle. It really hurt Tuck. Thompson's got him.
Hawthorn demolished after half-time for the second successive week. 15 goals to 2, handing the Bombers a stunning 87-point win and reigniting dreams of a premiership hat-trick. Mercurial rover Alan Ezard finishing with 7 goals.
They were looking for it, the Bombers supporters. Clark plays on, kicks it long to centre-half forward. Punched away, here's a chance for Elshaw. Snapshot for goal from 40 metres out, a beauty! Umpire Clayton bounces the ball at centre-half forward for Essendon, approaching time on in the second quarter. Chance for Clark, open goal, bang! Another goal to Essendon.
Judge and McCarthy. Buckenhauer is quick. Kicks the ball down towards the forward pocket. Oh, Brown's got the shape. He's judged it beautifully for his fourth goal. Where the ball is being bounced now, favoured by the wind, and this is the attacking side on the ground. Blaine Gregory across the field. Tackling and pushing, and Esard again, the man of the moment. It just
8 goals they kicked in a fantastic third quarter. Langford kicks it in. What a magnificent high mark by Terry Danaher, the mark of the day at Windy Hill.
Dunstall on the ground now for the Hawks. First time he's made the appearance. Duckworth with a funny-looking handball at this stage, and Range and then a Hawker. What a great player he's been today. Puts him into attack once more to the half-forward line of Danaher. Terry gets a shove and a push. It's young Considine in his second game looks good. Richardson beats it high into the pocket now, up to Merritt. Not this time, he's taken 6 marks. Good play, Nobby Clark. A handball, he's out again for his 6th. They were great. Oh, you star! 6 goals to Esard, BOG.
Madden and Coleman, Madden won it
Hawthorn's loss gave the Swans a golden opportunity to go 1 game clear on top if they could account for the 3rd place Blues in the match of the day at Princes Park.
Here comes Wayne Johnston, a dominant player, looking for possession, number 10. He's got it. Out to Bradley, was absolutely brilliant, and Bradley shoots for goal, and he's put it through. Oh, what a magnificent piece of football. Hand pass comes out to Bolton. Bolton long out wide to Morwood. Morwood shoots for goal, and Kappa will take a free kick. No, he won't. Back it goes to Harms. He fumbles. Oh, beautiful to do. That was as good as you'll see. Out wide to Bradley is, and the Blues are looking magnificent.
Kick is a long one. Hunter in front. Takes the mark.
Danaher playing a great final quarter. Beats his opponent Meldrum. Puts it back downfield. And here's an opportunity. Oh, great mark Morwood over Motley. Edmund from 55 metres from goal. Centre's looking for Kappa. Out goes Bruce Stool and spoils him. Follows on. Murphy with the ball. Shoots for goal. And puts them back in the game with a good kick.
In fact, the 7th grab, the 7th mark by the big fella as he goes up towards half-forward. Johnson, spectacular mark.
As the free kick is taken by Carroll downfield, Justin Madden should mark. Misses what he should have taken. Picked up by Robertson. Out wide to Glasgow. On to Dorotic. Dorotic sends a left foot out looking for Hunter. Out they come and a good spoil away. Over the back and here comes Ken Hunter. And a lovely hand pass and a certain goal to Bradley. Hunter,
a 7-goal third term from Carlton gave them a 28-point lead at the last change. And try as they might, the Swans just couldn't bridge the gap. Carlton home by 17 points to all but seal the double chance.
Kicks it out wide, up goes Silvani and takes the mark. Well, Carlton stand will love that.
Ball taken forward. There's about 4 Blues there against Kappa. Duel with it, kicks off the ground. Williams now for the Swans. The elusive Williams to Danaher. Danaher with a long kick forward. It's going to be in the square. Kappa from behind. Harms takes a sensational mark. What a mark that was by Wayne Harms. Fantastic football as he plays on.